Yo, back-to-back days with an upload. We got a spicy one today, man. This one is in regards to Wang responding about the current state of shooting in NBA 2K25. If you don't know, Wang is the gameplay director of NBA 2K. So any big decisions gameplay related are all gonna go through him. So we're gonna read this together and then we'll go from there. Alright, so here we go. This is straight from Wang. This is really what it all boils down to. If anyone has ideas for a better option than these two, I'd love to hear them. So basically two main options. Here it is. Number one, keep pure green windows, no RNG. Which means for the sake of balance, the windows need to be pretty small like they are now so that good players don't shoot 80 to 90% from the three-point line. This makes shooting very difficult for casual players, and it's what we're dealing with now. So essentially that's what we have now, a pure green window with no RNG. Okay, so the number two option is this: go back to bigger green windows that are easier for most people to hit, but cap the excellent timing boost, reintroduce RNG to keep the game balanced. This is how 2K shooting has basically worked for the past 20 years. Alright, so here's my thing. Obviously, from a competitive standpoint, I think the pure green window, that's going to be the option that we got to stick to. The problem with the green window is the Zens. The Zens are in the game. And I know Wang already addressed this as far as like, if you're a really good shooter and you're actually a comp player, you should be able to still be a Zen player. Based on the videos and the performance I saw yesterday, that is not factual. That is not true. And I'm sure there's a thought process behind what he said that maybe makes that statement somewhat true, but it doesn't matter. If you're getting any kind of unfair advantage that makes your level of gameplay rise higher than what you're truly at, then that's cheating, and that's what a Zen does, period. There's no way around that. So the only true way of not allowing a player to cheat is for Zens to either be banned, for the gameplay to recognize it, for the hardware to just not be able to work with NBA 2K. And I know 2K doesn't control that. That would have to be a PlayStation or Xbox thing, a Sony or Microsoft decision to not allow those kinds of hardwares to be plugged in and to be functional with the system. As far as going back to bigger green windows, right? But then adding RNG, I don't like that. I don't like anything that the game itself decides what goes in or what doesn't. Like, if I feel like I'm hitting a green window and then it turns into a white and it hits the back iron and it's a brick, that's gonna piss me off. That's really frustrating. I much rather know that, okay, it didn't go in because I didn't hit the green window. I don't want to be able to hit a green window and like RNG messes it up, or my shot timing speeds up, or just things of that nature. I don't want that, right? I think we all want consistency, and that's the key word in shooting. When it comes to shooting, that's what we should be striving. Now here's the problem. Apparently they don't want that experience for players as far as being able to shoot 80 to 90%, which I don't understand. What happens if I just have the best shooter in the game, like a pink diamond Steph Curry? I'm taking nothing but really good shots, wide open shots. Why should my percentage be forcefully dropped down to a certain number just because you guys don't want a box score to look a certain way at the end? If I'm hitting wide open shots and I'm getting really close to the green windows or hitting the green window consistently, why would there be something that prevents me from shooting 80 to 90%? It seems to me that from the developer standpoint, the issue that I have with is that they're looking too deep into the numbers. For whatever reason, whether it's because it's too much of a skill gap between the really good players and the casual players. You know, for example, a casual player could only shoot basically 40% at best, depending on how they build the game, and then a really comp player might be able to shoot 70 to 80%, and they don't want that disparity. But my thing is, that's exactly what we want. We do want that. We want to be able to shoot 75%, 80% if it's good shots. Now, I'm not saying you should be out there hitting every single leaner, green every single time, come down off of a screen, quick move, green off the. I don't think it should be that. Maybe that's too intense, that's too much. But I think good open shots, stand still, catch and shoot shots. I mean, I feel like right now it's in a good space. I like the shooting. I like where it's at. The problem is if Zens are gonna give an unfair advantage and I'm gonna be running into that, well, that's gonna be an issue. So more than anything, man, between these two options, I would honestly think most people would want the pure green window with no RNG. We don't want that. I don't want the RNG. Now, this doesn't really address what 2K Lab presented yesterday, which is after your first 4 makes, the timing of your green window changes, and it has a lot to do with the visual cue, but still, you're not gonna be able to release the shot at the same time that you did your previous 4 shots. If you want to hit the green window, you're gonna have to slide a bit, whether it's a slightly late release, you're gonna have to basically time it a bit different. That to me sounds like RNG. It does. And I know that the counter to that is, well, just look at the visual cue and you'll still be able to hit the green window. My thing is this: as far as consistency goes, why even add that to the game? Why not make your 5th and 6th shot the same as 1, 2, 3, 4? You see what I mean? Why are we changing that? It's like you're throwing a curveball because you want to purposely make sure that the percentages drop. Make the probability of you making those next shots less. And that's, in some way, shape, or form, you're messing with the balance of the game because you purposely want to somehow control the numbers, the outcome of success, the success rate of players hitting their green windows, right? I don't think there's a need for that. I don't think there's a need for that. You know what I think? I think the other players should be able to affect the success rate. Play good defense. Make sure the contest system is good enough so dudes are not going 6 for 6 on contested shots. That's what needs to happen. On my 5th or my 6th shot, if I've been blitzing you, just absolutely torching you, play better defense. If you step up and close me out, then the green window should definitely shorten to the point where it's almost impossible to hit that 5th shot. But you need to be playing defense. You need to be up on, in front of my face, hands up, or even jumping at me. And that way, okay, back iron, you braked it. Damn, but I hit the green one. No, I didn't hit the green window because there was a really good contest and your green window went from this to this right here. It really shrunk. And that's how it should be, I think, for most shots. Now, should you be able to hit some contested shots? Yes. Especially if you have a really high attribute, maxed out badges, you should be able to hit contested shots. Again, that's what a pure green window will allow you to do. You should be able to hit contested shots. Now, I don't think you should hit contested shots 5 out of 6 times or 9 out of 10 times, right? You shouldn't be hitting contested shots back to back to back. That's broken, because then that makes defense irrelevant, and we don't want that. So as far as I'm concerned, in my opinion, and I don't know where you guys stand on this, I much rather deal with a pure green window. The biggest issue with that is the Zens. All right, and Zens are just gonna be an issue all around, period. As long as there's people using Zens, man, tournaments are gonna be chalked. I know for sure yesterday in the top 10 leaderboard, the top 1%, there was definitely a dude using a Zen. I know top players lost to people using Zens, so that's really a hardware issue. I don't know how they fix that. As far as this, man, listen, for the past 20 years, it's been fine. We're always gonna figure it out, right? We're always gonna figure it out. It's just about getting used to it. Right now, though, it seems like the game is getting a bit complicated. Normal risk, high reward, true player percentage, and then you have the visual cues, 4 different options from set, push, jump, and release. So it's just right now it's kind of a cluster F-bomb, you know what I mean, when it comes to the shooting, because of all the different options. You have your visual cue timing, which is how you perceive when to let go of the ball. Then you have the option of high risk, high reward, normal, low risk. So there's just a lot going on right now, and I think that's the struggle that people are having. In my opinion, I want to go back to simpler times. Like, to me, the green release should always be at the apex of the jump shot, period. Not when you jump off the floor. But that's a personal preference, you know what I mean? Fine, you want to give us more options, that's cool. But if there's gonna be a pure green window, why are we adding all these other things? Normal risk, high risk. Everyone should be on high risk, high reward. If you green, money. If not, brick. you're essentially adding RNG. The moment I select normal risk timing, which by the way, I just want to let you guys know, that's what I've been doing in my streams and in my gameplays. Right now, I'm trying to find that balance between normal risk and high risk, high reward. Because when you play on normal, a lot of my open shots, the whites go in. And I'm winning some games due to the fact that I'm taking really good shots. And although I'm not hitting the green window, I'm still hitting those shots because they're wide open, and I'm shooting with, you know, really high rated attributes. 98 3-ball Steph Curry, Brandon Roy, you know, Devin Booker, Vince Carter. I'm shooting with cards, Tracy McGrady. Wide open shots, so I don't necessarily have to green every shot. So I don't know, it's just trying to find the balance of how I'm more successful, and that's just the thing. I think people right now just got to figure out what works. As far as these two options, let me know how you guys feel. I'm making the assumption you guys want an actual pure green window with no RNG. I would think most people want that, especially when they're giving us the option to still have the normal option where you could still hit whites. So like this conversation, in a sense, it's kind of pointless, because they're really giving us both options. You can have the pure green window, which is high risk. You'll never hit a white on high risk, I promise you. I've tested it. I've played already endless games. You are not. If you don't hit the green, you're not hitting it, okay? That's what high risk is. But if you want to hit whites, honestly, just switch to normal. And this whole conversation, there's no need to have this whole back and forth. You're really getting the best of both worlds. That's what it comes down to, all right? The issue is going to be when you run into a Zen user. This might become a real conversation this year, because I'm already seeing people like, oh no, you just suck. You're not playing defense. He's just greening his shots. Man, listen, if you really played this game, you would know. It's not as easy as you're making it sound. People are not consistently greening like other years, and there's a reason for that. They built the game a certain way, okay? For you to consistently green like 8 in a row within the flow of the game with the way the dribbling is, it's really tough. So when someone is doing it back to back to back, leaners contested with 2 people jumping at them, yeah, buddy, you probably got something connected to your console. Anyways, guys, I'll leave you guys with that right there, man. Give me your thoughts. What do you guys feel about the shooting? What settings are you using? Are you on high risk? Are you on normal? Do you like being able to hit whites? What are your preferences right now? How are you enjoying NBA 2K25 as far as the shooting goes? Me personally, I don't have an issue with it, man. I'll figure it out. It's fine. I just don't want to run into the Zens. Drop a like on the video, man. Hit that subscribe button if you are new, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.